Wanted to share with friends and family on some Hurricane Harvey tips. I've been through many storms historically as a contractor. For a season there, we worked with FEMA providing emergency service for Hurricane Rita. As a result, from being and seeing things occur in Rita, Katrina, Ike, and then prior storms and prior floods, have some experiences that may be helpful for you and some expectations. One of the first things you'll begin to realize is that the infrastructure of the city becomes overtaxed. What I mean is that even with the infrastructure of the city is that with your cell phone services, in these areas, that I've been in places where the cell phone would not work at all because everybody was using their cell phone and you could not get a phone call in or out. That's to be expected. Another item that you're going to realize is that very quickly with your expectations is that you'll understand that the fuel is not readily available. There will be fuel shortages in the area. Not a lot you can do about that other than prepare ahead. During Hurricane Ike, before Hurricane Ike hit, we actually filled up 4 55-gallon drums and distributed those at different places from friends' properties. We also, as a contractor, we had 3 different places where we stored up plywood and we stored up tarps in 3 different warehouses. We wanted to be prepared in case of flooding or if any of those warehouses were damaged from high winds, then we lost our materials or tornado hit. So we wanted to expect the unexpected on that. And so we did that in Hurricane Ike when it hit Houston area because of our prior experience. What happens in a storm is that majority of the time when we meet with people, they're just shocked that it could happen to them or where they live. And so our experience, what we want to convey to you is to expect the unexpected. The unexpected is going to happen eventually. And so with that, there are many other things that you'll see besides the shortage of fuel, 4, 5, 6-hour gas lines, people frustrated in line, which is a possibility. Home Depots, Lowe's, and they may hire extra security, or the National Guard may stand at those places to make sure inside and outside of the store to make sure that there's order in those places. We've seen that in many places after storms that the National Guard provides extra security for building supply places because those supplies are in high demand and they can walk off their shelves pretty easily. And so the stores want to make sure that their people that are visiting their stores are safe. So don't be surprised if you see security personnel in Home Depot and Lowe's at some stores in certain areas. It may not be widespread, just might be a few select stores where they have security there. What we typically see in the storms, water shortage. Water is an issue. Restaurants do not open for quite a while. Grocery stores do not open for quite a while. Streets are filled with trash. Homeowners in neighborhoods will pile all their furniture and carpet out in the front of their house, which is the necessity, and they'll pile that out there from the very front of their home to the partially the middle of the street. Some of the streets almost become impassable because everyone on the street throws their garbage from their home through in their yards and in the street. So don't be surprised with that. The smells are going to be horrendous in certain areas, especially when the food is left in the refrigerator and then there's mold that begins to grow in the home. That is catastrophic. Our heart goes out for everyone in Houston experiencing these issues. We recommend from experience from flood mitigation, which we've been involved with floods, and then also by being a licensed mold remediation contractor, highly recommend that if your home has experienced water damage and you get water that's several inches of water in your home, several inches of water, you may be able to get away with it if it dries out quickly. But we're going to recommend that if you have a foot of water in your home, you need to remove that sheetrock. If you don't remove that sheetrock in Houston and with a high humidity and temperatures, you may begin experiencing significant issues in a short period of time with black mold. You have different molds, and mold, you don't want it growing in your home. So what you want to do immediately is remove that sheetrock. There's nothing magical about the sheetrock getting wet. If it's wet and you think that you're going to be able to leave that sheetrock and that you're going to be able okay and you're going to be able to just paint over it, you don't want to do that. You'll have a very good chance that you're going to have mold growing in between that wall cavity in the insulation on the studs, and then whatever backing you have on the back side of your sheathing, you're going to have it there. If you have a home that has stucco and the stucco happens to be a styrofoam based stucco behind there, you better get that drywall off there quickly and let those walls breathe. You don't want that mold starting to grow in your exterior walls. That will be devastating. Your home will be subject to at one point where you're going to have to go out there and remove all of the siding on the outside of the home also. The home with the mold can get to such a place where you almost need to tear it down. So you want to get into that house right away and remove the sheetrock. Also, your doors. You want to remove your baseboard, your trim, your doors. Go ahead and remove those. Get those doors off of there. If you can get the doors off of there and you can flip the doors upside down and set them up to see if you could possibly dry them out that way, there's a chance you may be able to save your doors also. I doubt that there's much of a chance that you'll be able to get a hold of dehumidifiers right now. You may be able to. You may be able to get a hold of large fans. If you can, use those. Otherwise, you're going to want to do the best you can with your home, with turning on the air conditioner right away, getting those temperatures down to a reasonable level so that way you can begin to dry it out in the house.